Alright, so today we're looking at changing hinges. And there's basically two different kinds of hinges. You have your latching hinges, like this one here, where you have an actual latch mechanism that when your blade comes down, latches down. The thing to look for on these is on your latch, there is a little hook right here. And this likes to break off sometimes, and so that's the thing you're going to be looking for in your latch. Now on as far as the actual latch itself goes, what you're going to do is you're going to snap it down, and you're going to do what we call the fingernail test, I guess. And you just lift up on that latch with your fingernail, and if you can't lift it with your fingernail, we usually call the latch as good. Okay, so when doing the fingernail test, here we have a clipper, which first of all, whoever put it together, the hinge is on upside down. In clipper repair, you get some stuff like that where people don't know at all what they're doing. But just pretend for now that it's put on there correctly. And what you're going to do is you're just going to lift with your finger. And as you can see on this one, I can easily lift it with my fingernail. So this one is 100% totally shot. If you can lift it at all with your fingernail, we usually go ahead and replace it. And what that's going to do is a hinge like this, that loose is your blade's just going to rattle around on there. It's going to ruin your lever or your blade drive, and you're going to have a really loud clipper that doesn't cut. We determined that the latch is bad and we need to change it. There are several different kinds of latches, of hinges, both ones with latches and ones that don't have latches, such as this AG2. And traditionally, the difference is the barber clippers do not have a latch, just because they don't have the same amount of stress. They're not using as big of blades or as thick of hair, and so they traditionally don't need a latch, although it wouldn't hurt at all. So this clipper is an Andis AG2. You just go ahead and pull the two screws out, careful not to lose them. And then there's also a spring that sits down right down there, which comes out as well, just so you don't lose that. And so you get your new latch, you just put your spring right back down, and it has to fit right down in that hole right there. Put your latch back on and go ahead and screw it down. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. The same goes with the Oster hinges that don't have latches, except they don't have the little spring down. So in the Oster, like a barber, here's a classic 76. There's no spring down there. All you have to do is unscrew the latch, screw it back in. If you're having problems with the screws coming out, sometimes that requires a new housing or a new front motor frame, or you can just use a little bit bigger of a screw or use some Loctite to get that to fit. As far as, and here is an Andis Ultra Edge. This is going to be a latched hinge because it's designed for the animal side of things. Now here's the difference between an Oster hinge and an Andis one. Is in the Andis they have what's called a lock keeper, and so you're going to have your hinge, your lock, and a lock keeper. Now your hinge right here and your lock for Andis are sold together, but lots of times they pop off. Oster, they're sold separately. And what you do is there are two little wires right here and right here on your hinge, and there's two corresponding holes in your latch, and you just line those up, put it in there, then push it up and snap it into place, and you're ready to go. You put your lock keeper down, put your latch down, and screw it in place. So changing hinges is actually pretty simple, but it can be a big determining factor in whether or not your cutting is a successful experience.